Been a tough one on all of you. Can't tell you how proud I am of each and every one of you. Coaches, players, staff, everybody stepped up. All three phases, man. Things we talked about. Offense, ran it for over 200. Threw it for over 200. Defense, shut 28 down, 77 yards rushing. Had to make a play on 17 at the end. What'd we do? Make a play at the end. Make a play at the end, man. Hey, make a play at the end, man. Who goes hardest the longest, man? That's how this game is decided. The most physical football team won today. Can't tell you how much I appreciate. Hey, Parks, congrats, man. Yeah.
All I got to say is not a single play worked because of me. It's because of you guys, man.
Down, yes, sir.
We talked about it. Great way to respond to adversity.
There we go.
Week.
There we go. That's what we're looking for. Sorry to cut you off, Parks. Hey, Michael. Been a while since I saw you. A lot's happened. Certainly a lot's happened in Indianapolis
a lot has
since I
happened.
last saw you.
Yeah.
Let me say this. I think what we're seeing in Indianapolis, what we saw yesterday, I think this is the best example of a phrase that we use often, that everybody uses often in conversation, in reasonable conversation, in nuanced conversation, which is that two things can be true at the same time. First of all, congratulations to Jeff Saturday. Congratulations to Jim Irsay. Congratulations to the entire organization for beating the Raiders under difficult circumstances of their own doing, okay? That was a hard-fought win. That was a team win, as they say. Jeff Saturday, highest winning percentage in NFL history. He's off to a great start in his head coaching career. They earned that win. The Raiders, even though it doesn't look like it, those guys get paid too, as they say. And the Colts got what they deserved yesterday, and they deserve congratulations. Jeff Saturday could be a good coach. That was the first thing I said about him. He could turn out to be a good coach. And Jim Irsay could turn out to be right about Jeff Saturday. But to paraphrase Keith Sweat, who famously said there's a right and a wrong way to love somebody, they could be right, and they could have gone about this the wrong way. I'm going to say that again. Irsay could be right about Jeff Saturday, who could be good, and the Colts still went about this the wrong way, okay? Because nobody ever said, I didn't see every show last week, Michael. I saw the highlights. I know what I said. I know what I heard people say. Nobody ever said that Jeff Saturday was not a capable leader. Nobody ever said that he didn't know football. Nobody ever said that he didn't have credibility as a player. And nobody ever said that he could not be successful, because that would be stupid to say what he could not do, okay? Because there's a lot of experienced coaches, including his counterpart yesterday, who suck, okay? So nobody ever said any of those things. All anybody ever said was that this was insulting and disrespectful to the people in that industry who have worked tirelessly up the ladder to be a head coach. That's all anybody ever had a problem with. Nobody ever had a problem with Jeff Saturday personally. They just
Everybody
had a problem
loves Jeff
with
Saturday.
Everybody loves Jeff Saturday.
Everybody
To
loves
know
Jeff.
Jeff Saturday is to love him. Everybody loves Jeff Saturday.
Exactly what I said last week. That's exactly what I said last week.
That's what you said?
know him is to love him.
There you go. The process was what we hated. We only hated the process. I'll say this, Michael, as I pass it to you. Just so I don't, you're a 7-time New York Times best-selling author? 7? 7 or 8?
You know, I lose track, Mike.
Who's
it's,
counting?
I think it's
Who's
6.
counting?
It's 6. 6.
Okay.
6.
Most of those books are about football, okay? Most of those books are about football. If you were hired to be the general manager of a football team today, what would people be saying about you? That's my dream job. I told you I'd leave today to be the general manager of an NFL team. I've been around football. I've covered football for 20 years. I've managed teams, fantasy teams. You know, I've managed teams before. I've managed people. I'm a leader of men and women. If somebody gave me the dream job that I want today or tomorrow, what would they be saying about me? A lot worse than what they said about Jeff Saturday, I'll tell you that much. So that's all it was about, was the process, not the person. Congratulations to the person, to the people who pulled out this win. Starting with Matt Ryan, continuing with Jonathan Taylor, all the coaches, all the players who stepped up and did their jobs yesterday. Congratulations. Maybe there's more where this came from. But I stand by everything I had to say about the process by which Jeff Saturday got this job.
Yeah, the process is weird, Mike.
Or lack thereof.
I just want to,
or lack thereof.
And
sorry,
can we go back to? I need you and others to help me on just the process, just a little thing that's bothering me, things that just kind of stick with me. I can't move on from this yet. Tell me again why Marcus Brady was fired. I mean, like, Marcus Brady was fired. I can understand why, if you felt like you had to fire Frank Reich, all right, he's a head coach. But as far as I can see, only one assistant coach was fired. Only one assistant was fired.
I'll answer it quickly. We're talking about an impulsive owner. 3 people got fired, technically. 3 people got fired.
Frank Reich, Marcus Brady.
I don't remember. And Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan got fired. Because it was like, no, I mean, so we don't want to pay him $17 million guarantee. He didn't until it was he was conveniently rehired in order to put Jeff Saturday in the best position to succeed.
Okay.
So forget the $17 million guaranteed. Now we're gonna put the guy I want to win in position to succeed.
We're saying the same thing. Like, because I agree. I agree. That's exactly what happened. That, you know, Matt Ryan got sat down. He didn't get fired. Like, a lot of people got sat down. A lot of people got humbled.
He was still getting paid.
They didn't get fired. Marcus Brady got fired. He probably doesn't have Colts NFL on his email anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas Matt Ryan, hey, put the hat on. You watch Sam Ellinger, even though you know, and everybody in the locker room knows, you're better than he is. Hey, John Fox, you got sat down. You should be the interim coach. You're not. You know, other people. Hey, Gus Bradley, you should be the interim coach. You're not. Quarterback coach, you should be calling plays, but no, your assistant is calling plays. But Marcus Brady had to leave with Frank Reich, the only assistant who had to leave. That's just nuts to me. Anyway, process, I don't understand. I agree with it, but I don't understand why Matt Ryan took the job over. He never should have lost the job to Sam Ellinger. But if that's what you were going to do, if you were going to say Matt Ryan gives us the best chance to win, you probably should have stuck with Frank Reich in the first place. You don't think Frank Reich would have won this game? I can tell you, he would have. He sure would have. And Mike, you can say anything you want about your own credentials and the fantasy teams that you've managed and the men and women that you've led. You would have won this game too. You would have, because this ain't about the Colts.
This says more about the Raiders. Yeah. No, I listen.
They ain't got nothing to do with the Colts.
Listen. Okay, I'll give it right back to you. I just wanted to be fair because the Colts, as an organization, were the subject of much criticism last week. Yeah. And if Jeff Saturday would have shit the bed this week, best believe we collectively be shitting on him today. That's the truth of the matter. They got to win when very few people expected them to win.
I called this last week.
But having that said, you're right. If there was ever a game to debut against, it was the Raiders. Hey, well, not just you. Jeff Saturday prophesized it. Remember his old tweet? Raiders are awful. Raiders are terrible. So if there was ever a game, it was this one.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.